2,555 years in the future, horrible kimono shock created explosion cloud orbits the Earth every 70 years, where the explosion cloud passed, half the population will die instantly. The other half will either get away with it and linger on, or be mutated into zombies by lethal radiation. 2023 latest sci-fi blockbuster from the future visitor explosion strikes. The world-destroying nuclear power plant is about to explode, on the nick of time. Two scientists swim against the current attempt to reboot the system to prevent disaster, but the buttons in front of them make them difficult. Which of the blue and yellow buttons is the reset button? When the two were arguing, under a flash of light and flint, a person appeared out of nowhere in the hallway. It turns out that Xiaoshui is a time traveler from the future. The purpose of coming here is to prevent disaster from happening. He warns the two that the blue button will blow up the place. To convince scientists, he also mentioned the manual, but here comes the problem. It's all in Chinese. Swish. Xiaoshui brought an old Chinese man. The embarrassing thing is that the old man can't understand traditional characters. Time is running out. Xiaoshui swished again. This time he went back to cram in Chinese for 6 months. But I always feel like something is wrong. Searched again. He confirmed with the design engineer of the nuclear power plant. The yellow button is the reset button. Turns out the scientists were just about to start. The time patrol fell from the sky when Xiaoshui saw this. He flashed light and turned into a living person. Let the scientists be a little bit fierce. The scientist is about to flip the switch. The time patrol hastily interrupted. He also said Xiaoshui is a liar and the blue button is serious, but the patrolman told them to wait a moment. Wait until they leave before pressing. After the swing, the scientist flipped the blue switch right after system reboot. There was a violent explosion at the nuclear power plant. The end of the world has also officially entered the countdown. Time to nuclear power before the station was built. MP Lao Wang approves nuclear power project at a press conference. Pharaoh answered questions from reporters. At this moment Xiaowei suddenly got into trouble. Express why brand new nuclear power plants are using outdated technology. Pharaoh denied on the spot, sidesteps the safety issues of nuclear power plants. Xiaowei is an environmentalist. He hoped that Pharaoh would act responsibly, protect our Earth. For this nonsense, security guards want to kick him out. Xiaowei's friends took the opportunity to create momentum, a scandal at the press conference, while in police custody. Friends plan online protest against nuclear power. Xiaowei hesitated about this. That's when his father picked him up. Never thought his father was Lao Wang. After a long time, father and daughter are still rivals. On the way back, Xiaowei criticizes her father's nuclear power plant again. Pharaoh doesn't want to explain too much, however. When referring to the mother, the father chose to avoid. Dissatisfied, Xiaowei's father leaves. A friend called and hoped that Xiaowei would devote 100% to her if the old king after the end of his term. NPP hired him right away. It would be a huge political scandal. What Xiaowei will do now, just to get their insider trading, otherwise, the friend will disclose the relationship between the two. Xiaowei had no choice but to agree. At night, Xiaowei prepares to act secretly. Unexpectedly, Xiaoshui took the first step. Both were startled by each other. I don't know who it is. Xiaowei picked up a wine bottle beside her and knocked him unconscious. After hearing the movement, Pharaoh hurried downstairs. Xiaowei explained to her father that the man came to steal his computer. Pharaoh smiled awkwardly. I think my daughter is here to steal the computer too, and asked Xiaowei if they were accomplices, just when Xiaowei defended. The time patrol suddenly airborne. The father and daughter were stunned on the spot. In desperation, Xiaoshui was forced to act. The Han can only kill Lao Wang in order to completely prevent the completion of nuclear power plants. Patrolman wants to shoot to stop. As a result, he missed the old king directly. I saw the patrolman rushing over. At the critical moment, Xiaoshui started teleportation and fled the scene. In this way, the father and daughter were taken to the future together. The scene in front of her shocked Xiaowei. Never imagined, the once bustling world has turned into ruins. Back to the time administration. The failure of the task made the supervisor fly into a rage. For this reason, the supervisor asked Sister Jin to take over the captain's position. Although Brother Qiong is dissatisfied, he can only obey orders. When Xiaowei woke up, the father and daughter were quarantined separately. Pharaoh thinks they must have been hijacked by criminals. And in a wild place, just then the little brother brought the food, only a few cookies on the plate. It can be seen that the future world is extremely scarce in materials, but Xiaowei disagrees with saying that this is the future world. And thought it was their prison. The little brother justified that this is his bedroom. If you want to leave, you can ask the boss here. After seeing Xiaoshui, the father and daughter, he didn't stop them from leaving. And also kindly reminded the export. As a result, after Lao Wang opened the door, there were all zombies outside. The frightened father and daughter quickly hid in the house. Immediately afterwards, the doctor popularized the current situation for them. Everyone outside is the living dead. Caused all this, it's the radiation from the nuclear power plant explosion. Radiation caused these human mutations, but put the blame on him. Pharaoh thinks it's a little ridiculous. After all, earthquakes are also one of the causes of disasters. One more, strict safety standards are implemented for the construction of nuclear power plants. Xiaoshui immediately retorted that if it was safe, the world wouldn't be like this now. Pharaoh looked disdainful. I think Xiaoshui is a clown who likes to perform. This is the so-called future. How to prove it? Faced with the old king's doubts, everyone can only use reality to dispel their suspicions. Dr. Gatling, clean up the zombies at the door. Then he brought the two of them to the ruins in the city. As far as the eye can see are all lifeless ruins. From time to time there are zombies roaming the streets. Everywhere you go is full of sores. Soon Xiaoshui took them to the destination. Lao Wang was shocked by the scene in front of him. The explosion cloud that year circled the Earth every 70 years. Half the population died where he passed. Earth became what it is now after many iterations, and this time everyone is doomed. The facts are in front of us. Pharaoh is powerless to refute. Xiaoshui draws out his gun to kill Pharaoh. So that all problems can be solved, Xiaowei stepped forward to stop. I hope there is another way to save. As a result, Xiaoshui didn't make a move yet. The frightened Pharaoh passed out. The little brother on the side can't stand it, so a plan was proposed. They can change the time inside the time authority so that they don't get their attention if Pharaoh wakes up. Patrolmen can't stop him from making changes under Xiaowei's plea. The soft-hearted Xiaoshui agreed. The problem now is, how do they evade the patrol? Never imagined patrolmen have tracked down their timeline and through death threats asked about Xiaoshui's base on the way back. The differences between the two finally came to an agreement. We all have a common goal, that's saving the Earth, but Xiaoshui doesn't have a plan right now, Xiaowei said. His mother passed away during childbirth, the only person who can change my father's mind, only mother. Xiaowei thought of resurrecting her mother, but Xiaoshui firmly refused. If Xiaowei's birth is prevented, rescuing the mother will generate bribe in order to let Lao Wang have ideological awareness. Xiaoshui took them to the refugee camp. I thought it was going to be howls. As a result, everyone is optimistic and active. The father and daughter conducted random interviews with them. Everyone is either neurotic or open-minded, no feeling of misery at all. Instead, Pharaoh pinned his hopes on the time patrol. On the body, thought the patrol might still be able to get them out. Pharaoh doesn't care what happens, he only cares about his daughter now. Xiaowei looked surprised. He knows that his father only cares about himself and his future and wealth. The lives of innocent people are worth nothing to him. To let everyone know the truth, Xiaowei kills relatives righteously. Report father as culprit of explosion cloud. I thought everyone would be angry. In the end, Lao Wang invited everyone to drink to resolve the embarrassment. It seems that the masses are not worried about their own lives. Actually, carpe diem is king. Lao Wang fled the scene with his daughter. Just then the patrolmen had located the base, discovered the other party in time by monitoring the doctor before the patrol rode. The doctor activated the self-destruct system first. Patrol found something wrong. Immediately made an evasive action. Shockwaves coming soon. The doctor wanted to teleport to escape but took out the wrong tool. On the other side, Pharaoh took Xiaowei and fled to the street. Unfortunately, I met a little boy on the way. The curious Pharaoh asked about the situation. As a result, the little boy turned and ran away in fright without saying a word. The two women recovered. It turned out that the zombies were behind them. The women ran away, came across a dead end. Seeing that the zombies are about to pounce at the critical moment, Xiaoshui rushed to the rescue in time. I wanted to use the conveyor belt to escape the scene. At a critical moment, the transmitter lost its chain. Xiaoshui used it and forgot to charge him. Ferocious zombies approached slowly. Suddenly a zombie was brought down by a javelin. It turned out that the little boy brought in the rescuers, lured by children. The corpses were successfully taken away. This is how everyone escaped. The police then searched the scene. Seeing Sister Kim found a map, it seems that this is Xiaoshui's real lair. After arriving at the lair, the father and daughter saw another scene. The children here are all orphaned, under Xiaoshui's care. They lead an active and optimistic life. When everyone is eating together, Xiaoshui suddenly received a signal. In the next second, the doctor teleported to the scene. Then the patrolmen also chased here, under Xiaoshui's organization. The kids fought back, facing the stone array for children. The patrolman is still a bit overwhelmed. They decisively made a grenade. Critical moment, the desperate doctor rushed forward, with a loud explosion. The doctor was blown to pieces. Didn't expect the doctor to be a robot. Xiaoshui can't accept the reality, so he aimed his gun at Lao Wang, but in front of the children. Xiaoshui chose to give up. Several people were later arrested by the police, and the father and daughter were also brought back in time. The management said, Shui is a lunatic. Think you're saving the world, but Xiaowei didn't believe the other party's nonsense. He also said that he would persuade his father to prevent the completion of the nuclear power plant. In order to let Xiaowei dispel this idea, the supervisor called his future self. Xiaowei was shocked, thinking that the self in front of me is technology. Unexpectedly, the future self revealed all his secrets. Xiaowei just believed it, but the other party just kept persuading myself to give up. And said my father wouldn't live long because of the infection. I hope Xiaowei will take advantage of her father's presence to say goodbye to him. These words made Xiaowei a little lost. Is everything he insists on wrong? After returning to my own world, Xiaowei didn't steal her father's computer. Nothing seems to change. At the same time, Xiaoshui and others were brought before the supervisor. They will face a time penalty. There will be a dungeon without time. However, when Pharaoh went to sign the agreement, the driver's words reminded him of his wife. In order to make a change, the old king returned home. He knew his wife would never agree to do it. Just after Pharaoh made a change, the authorities' time has gone awry. After the supervisor realizes the problem, immediately send your men to deal with it. Make sure Lao Wang attends the meeting on time, otherwise, use his daughter as a threat. Just when the father and daughter broke the barrier, the police arrived and took Lao Wang away. It seems that everything will go according to the historical. Sister Jin pressed Xiaoshui and the two came to the prison. He never expected his conscience to find out that he would suddenly betray the water. Not only let Xiaoshui and the other two go, and it also provides enough ammunition. As a result, the younger brother was knocked out on the spot as soon as he passed the pass. Sister Jin plans to attack the supervisor. Unexpectedly, the supervisor was prepared, taking advantage of the lights. The black supervisor launched an attack on Miss Jin. After a fierce contest between the two, Miss Jin, who is not strong enough, is still defeated. On the other side, Xiaoshui has already stopped Lao Wang's car. Just when Brother Qiong got out of the car to check, Xiaoshui sent him to a more distant past. The two came to the battlefield. Brother Qiong chased after him and wanted to shoot. The weapon has been lost. Xiaoshui's luck also broke the transmitter. He had no choice but to bite the bullet and fight. The two sides fought. Obviously Xiaoshui is no match for Brother Qiong. Just when the two sides distanced themselves, suddenly a bomber flew overhead. In the next second, the two disappeared into the dust of the explosion. After the little brother woke up, he hurriedly sailed away. As a result, it flashed for a long time and fell directly into the swimming pool. The patrolman stepped forward to make up the knife. At the critical moment, he flashed behind the patrolman. Just when the two sides get entangled together, Xiaowei took out the wine bottle and smashed it. Just knocked the patrolman unconscious. Xiaowei quickly called her father. Unexpectedly, the supervisor rushed to the scene first. And Xiaoshui was also caught by Brother Qiong. Explosion cloud sweeps towards city ruins. The Doctor sees the time to create a space-time shuttle. Due to time constraints, the Doctor is in a hurry. Explosion cloud transit. The tavern owner died instantly as soon as he opened the door. The Doctor triggered the shuttle and the device didn't work. Just when everyone feels hopeless, Xiaowei suddenly thought of a way. Under duress, Pharaoh ready to sign the agreement. Unexpectedly, the past time suddenly changed. Xiaowei sacrificed herself to change the future when the mother gave birth. Is bullying the Doctor, my lord, so the future has changed dramatically. The Time Management Bureau and Xiao Shuai also disappeared together. After Xiaowei's death, Lao Wang's life trajectory has also changed. He and his wife have a happy family. Signed agreement. From nuclear power plants to renewable energy development, it is unbelievable that after Xiaowei adapted the past, the future does change because of him. But at the same time, a parallel world exists against the principle. The explosion cloud seemed to disappear overnight. And Xiaowei lives happily in the future world. The above is the content of this issue. Thank you for watching. See you next time.